top 10 highest scamming countries in the world. Because millions of individuals are falling prey to various types of fraud and scams on the internet, this topic is frequently discussed on the international market these days. As technological advancements continue, people tend to incorporate them into their day-to-day activities, including their commercial dealings. And the international market is the greatest in the world, with millions of transactions taking place every single day on it. The incidence of fraudulent activity on the internet is often quite low across most countries. Nonetheless, there are some nations in which fraud is the norm rather than the exception. Therefore, it is important to be aware of the countries in which you are most likely to run into a con so that you can avoid falling victim to one. Because of this, in the video that I'm going to show you today, the top 10 list of countries that perpetrate online scams will be presented. Number 10. Romania. To begin, Romania is consistently ranked as one of the top 10 most scammed countries in the entire globe. Romania has become one of the top countries with a high rate of cybercrime and fraud as a direct result of the country's high poverty rate, prolonged reduction in prices, and widespread corruption. If you have a problem controlling your want to spend money online, you should exercise extreme caution when you visit Romania. Number 9. Philippines. If this is your first time traveling to a different country, the Philippines should not be on anyone's list of places to see before they die. People approach you in the Philippines and say that you look familiar, which is a common way to trick a person who isn't paying attention to what's going on around them. After that, they decide to give you a tour of the Philippines, during which you might be robbed at any point. Once you're inside the taxi, there are a variety of tricks that can be played on you. Even though you listed the places that you are interested in seeing, I cannot accommodate your request. Drivers are taking the wrong route, and they are demanding more than 10 times what is available. Number 8. Republic of South Africa. A study that was conducted by the Center for Cybersecurity at the University of Johannesburg found that South Africans were the most likely to fall victim to banking-related frauds in the year 2015. The province of Gauteng had the highest number of incidents involving phishing, accessing fraudulent financial websites, and receiving phony SMS warnings of bank withdrawals or payments. Number 7. Venezuela. If we are talking about the nations in the globe where people are most likely to be conned, or if you chose Venezuela as a vacation spot, you may have been taken advantage of by a con artist at some point in your life. On the other hand, if you are not a Venezuelan citizen or if you are taking time out of your busy schedule to travel to Venezuela, you might discover that Venezuelans are wolves dressed as sheep. The economy of Venezuela has been experiencing a significant decline for some time now. Since the collapse of the country's economy, it has been involved in several cases involving online dating scams, fraudulent government bond sales, and other forms of internet fraud. Number 6. Indonesia. Indonesia is often regarded as one of the world's most beautiful countries. Nevertheless, it also has a terrible reputation for being a haven for scam artists. You should be aware that it is very simple for people to trick you into Indonesia if you are going there on vacation. Scam artists in Indonesia are so proficient with technology that they don't even need to know your name before they can take advantage of you. Even though traveling to Indonesia from India or Asia will cost you the least amount of money and will take you the least amount of time, you should avoid paying your bills online from within the country because it is one of the top 10 countries in the world with the highest incidence of online fraud. Number 5. Pakistan. As a result of the increasing prevalence of military scams, a great number of law enforcement agencies have issued a warning. Swindlers will pose as high-ranking officials or members of the military on social media and online dating services to build connections with victims only to collect their photographs, which they would then use to deceive other individuals. Swindlers are currently posing as soldiers stationed in Pakistan, and they will devise a plan to convince you to send them money to fulfill their demands. In addition, criminals can infect your computer with a virus that gives them the ability to steal whatever is stored on it while simultaneously blackmailing you into handing them money. Number 4. Brazil. Swindlers thrive in the country of Brazil. It has been suggested that Brazil has been mimicking attractive ladies to mislead others. During the Olympic Games in 2016, pickpocketing received a negative reputation. Abductions in a hurry have also taken place in the area surrounding international currency exchange agencies. Number 3. China. It is generally agreed upon that the Chinese are the smartest people in the world. They are also not too far behind when it comes to perpetrating scams through the internet. Swindlers in China resort to a wide array of con tricks to trick their victims. One of the most well-known types of fraud is attempts to get admission to a college. Someone manages to persuade the student's parents that their child can still get an education despite the poor performance of the student. The second tactic is to state something along the lines of "I am your husband's mistress." Another method is to send a text message to the wives of the husbands containing a link to see photographs of the mistress with her husband. If the wives click on the link, the mistress can infect the wife's phone with a Trojan virus and obtain passwords and images that can be used to blackmail the family. A greater proportion of people in China are likely to fall victim to fraud than in any of the other countries mentioned, because it holds the third spot on the list of countries with the highest incidence of fraud worldwide. Number 2, India. It is quite unlikely that you will travel to India without falling victim to some kind of con or being targeted by a con artist. Taxi drivers could try to pull a fast one on you by acting as though they are clueless about how to get to your hotel. They will make the offer to take you to a more expensive hotel. Another rip-off, especially in the Jaipur region, is the practice of importing rubies duty-free. A jeweler's salesman approaches vacationers and convinces them to purchase some diamonds that aren't even worth their money. You will be instructed to bring them in at a value that is below the threshold for duty-free importation, then sell them to one of his made-up eager partners in their home country for a price that is significantly higher than what they paid for them. Number 1, Nigeria. We have ranked Nigeria as number 1 on our list of the top 10 most scamming countries in the world, because its citizens report the highest incidence of being taken advantage of. There's a good chance that you have been exposed to fake or viral news even in your nation. They ask for your bank information so that they can transfer the money to you from the central bank, or a large amount of inheritance that is difficult for them to obtain due to government limitations or taxes in their nation. However, they will use your information to steal your funds while they are in the process of transferring the money to you. Theft of credit cards was the most common type of crime committed in Nigeria, followed by the sale of gold and engaging in online dating, confidence fraud, forgery of documents and the transfer of inheritances, the creation of fraudulent websites and contracts, kidnapping and robbery, and employment scams. At the end of this video, tell us how was the video. Did you enjoy it? Post your feedback in our comment section below, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates.